What's going on?
Goals. Heavy.
No
Heavy.
way!
Heavy. No.
I can't, mate. I need to wet myself.
That's all
Oh my God.
I love Garrett machines. I've always had Garrett machines. I mean, it's an easy way. You've got a copy. You also have these listed. Clearly, I'm sure you know about the tail on it is. Well, and it's the 18 Pro. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, and I think Nathan and Luke done very well on that.
So you can see which has come up on his van.
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show. I'm your co-host, Dave Sadler, and he is...
Adrian. Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Adrian. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Yourself?
I'm good. Things going on in the background at work and what have you, but it looks like it's freeing me up to do some much-needed work on the magazine and the Big Detecting Show for a short period of time, so... That's nice. And hopefully we're going to be able to welcome a lot of visitors this evening from the United States. Welcome to you. We'll be, as well as our Just Detect draws that we'll be doing tonight in around about 50 minutes. We've also got the first Just Detect American draw, courtesy of Adrian's clapping at it already, working alongside with Calico. Yay!
No, yeah. No, there's a fly. A mosquito, I think.
Do you know there's people already asking, can you show the video of Dave on the mechanical bull? Oddly. There was happening there.
Oh, bull.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Yeah, that was a nice video. It's not... Well, I prefer the one when you're waking up at Detectable after drinking for like 48 hours, but...
Me?
Yeah. No, it's going to be a good show tonight.
It is. It's one of them shows that we do semi-regularly. We wanted to incorporate where we have multiple guests, and we've got 3 guests coming on tonight. Looking forward greatly to speaking to them. Graham Dempsey from the Composite Cleaning Pencil. I didn't look at anything, man. I didn't look at anything. Kerry Fuller from the Lost Tapes of History podcast, and Shane Holdcroft, Staffordshire Searcher, will be joining us again towards the end of the show. So, Adrian, do you know what the highlight of my week has been so far? Other than obviously speaking to you.
Cake?
I haven't had the cake this week.
Oh. Highlight of your week is a new hat?
No. I had this hat last week. No.
Oh, sorry.
The highlight of my week has been somebody in work messaging me yesterday, BBC 4 now. So I put BBC Radio 4 on when I eventually found how to use the BBC Sounds app because I hadn't used it before. And Reg Mead was doing a piece on let me just check, the life-changing. It's a series of things about people who've had life-changing events, life-changing things happen to them. So he was talking, obviously, about the, I hope I pronounced this correctly, the Grooville Horde on Jersey, and how that's changed his life. So if anybody wants to listen to that, it's absolutely fascinating. Reg talking for half an hour all about that. Go onto the BBC Sounds app. Go on to yesterday's broadcast and look for about 8-9 o'clock, The Life Changing with Reg Mead. Do you know it was 2012, Adrian? 70,000 Iron Age and Roman coins, and because of the law being different in Jersey, there's still no payout, from the Treasure Act and what have you. And not only that, sadly, the landowner has passed away, so he'll never get to obviously appreciate anything that does become rewarded to them. But fascinating broadcast, fascinating.
I'm listening to that on the way into work tomorrow. I listen to a lot of podcasts in the car. Highly recommend it. Sorry. COVID. I sometimes get to work and think, oh my God, that was really interesting. And then did I jump that red light? I go on autopilot. I didn't. But podcasts are really good in them. You don't get in road rage or anything. You're just miles away, but you know what you're doing driving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good. I like that. We should have that. Sorry, highlight of the week, because mine was cake. No, it wasn't, but we should.
So jealous.
No, mine wasn't cake. I haven't eaten any cake this week. I've had a Kit Kat and a Viscount. That's about it. No, mine's metal detectors because it's all kicking off. It suddenly all went quiet, and then it all went boom. We got the Deus 2, we got the Atrex, we got the Simplex multi-frequency coming out, and we've potentially got another one coming out soon. So I'm looking forward to getting. I've got the Atrex coming next week from Rutus, which is a very interesting machine if you read the specs and the features. All right, it's not waterproof, but it's got Wi-Fi in it for updates. There's a basic mode, advanced mode, color screen, the hodograph display, and I've forgotten the name of it, triple frequency. It's not multi-frequency, but it's got a similar, and it's designed well on the beach now and wet conditions. So, and
the holographic display is not like Dean Stockwell out of Quantum Leap, who sadly died yesterday. It's like someone pops up and goes along with it. Yeah.
What is he? Is he the main actor in it, or the man who's
No, he's the hologram.
Oh, well, he was quite old anyway. Oh,
yeah, but does the Atrex pop out someone like that and they walk alongside you being holographic display?
You do get warped into a different. That's why it's so good, I think, potentially, because you can, on the screen, you can dial back to a century. So I'm going to go back to probably 1540 or something like that, and you can go back. Yeah, but do you know Tony Kaywood's highlight of the week? He's had 2. The first was West Ham beating Liverpool, which he's going to go on about all night until I bite, apparently. But also,
he received a nice little present in the post yesterday. Little
Okay.
sticker I found for him.
Oh yeah, Dave, have you got a picture of it to share?
I haven't, but
Oh.
I'm sure Tony can send one over and we can get that up. Tony, send us a picture of your sticker.
Yeah, definitely. Shame you can't put pictures. Well, no, it's probably a good thing you can't put pictures in the chat. But yeah, it's and I've got the Deep Tech Vista X at the moment, which I'm playing around with, which is an amazing machine. Absolutely blown away with it. Yeah, but there will be an article in Treasure Hunting magazine about that. Are you going out this weekend detecting, Dave? Or
I'm not sure. I was supposed to be working overtime, but all that's stopped for the foreseeable future. So I'm not actually sure if the Shane and Steve and what have you to go out with have agreed anything yet. So I'm not 100% sure. He's sending a picture over now. A sticker. So tonight we've got Graham Dempsey coming on any moment. He's going to be discussing the new website for the Composite Pencil. And also he has a new product that's on the market as well, I think, maybe even two. Additionally, we have Kerry Fuller from the Lost Tapes of History, who doesn't seem to be in the chat yet. I wonder if she's okay. Can't see her anyway. She's going to be coming on, and basically she's going to be, we brought her on as a guest a while ago to introduce the podcast. And me and Adrian basically kidnapped her from there and made her our slave, and she's been coming with us with a chain on her to detectables, and also she went out metal detecting for the first time ever with Luke and Niall on the Peaky Finders rally. So she's going to be coming, just giving her thoughts on all of that. And then, as I say, Shane's going to be coming at the end. And we received kindly from Joan Allen and I can't stop going on about it, can I, Adrian? The Quest X Pointer Max, and he's done a review of that, which is absolutely fantastic. She says she is here, she's just lurking.
I think the X Pointer Max is so popular. It's out of stock now, I believe. I'm not sure, but it's selling really, really well. It's almost like a mini detector, to be fair.
Mate, it is, honestly. Even got ground balance on it.
9.5 hertz. So, yeah. And I think also Quest may be bringing out some new machines soon. So that'll be interesting.
Right, he's just sent me this picture of the thing. Graham, I know you're watching, so when you are ready, please click on the link and come on board. Let me just download this picture.
The viewers who are new to the show or haven't watched before, Tony Kaywood has got a YouTube channel, really good one. Nice, down to earth, down to the ground. TC Detects on YouTube, where he goes out of his Garrett Apex, mainly Root Assault 71, and his Equinox 600. Maybe it is a 600. And he, not so much recently, but he did find a hell of a lot of buttons. We're talking hundreds. So Dave kindly sent him a nice little sticker, didn't you, Dave?
I was perusing Etsy for something totally different, and this came up. Luke, when you're ready, young man. Share the screen. There it is. I'm forever digging buttons. Do you know, people who do, I know metal detectorists do love their stickers. If you pop onto Etsy, there's so many on there. I couldn't believe it. It was for ace. So anyway, just waiting for Graham to come on. So the Deep Tech Vista, it's a Bulgarian machine, I take it.
Yeah. They do a different range of machines. They're a bit old school. 8 AA batteries, which is about 12 volts. But it's deep. And I normally field test the machine on the land, same sort of land with all of them, but I went on a different bit just down the road. And on Sunday, well, I showed you, Dave. I don't think I can show that, but that's still suffering succotash. That's a steel yard weight.
Turn your green screen off a minute, Doc.
The computer says green screen off. Right. So that is a steel yard weight. Looks like a crotal bell. Absolutely beautiful. Really. Oh, am I doing it up there? Really, really. I was so pleased with that. That was about 7 inches down. And at first I thought it was a crotal bell, but that's about 13th, 14th century steel yard weight. And then I've got I've got to get it properly identified yet, but that's, I think, a Roman bracelet or a lady thing. So yeah, lots of buttons and bits and bobs, and 2 hammers as well. One really grotty one and one nice one. But yeah, went out with it. 16 hertz, 6 or 7 dials on it. It looks really complicated, but really easy to use. And it's almost where I think C-Scope may have been if they hadn't gone down a different route, which we haven't heard any more about recently, the Evo. But yeah, fantastic machine, Deep Tech Vista X. And I think if you go on YouTube and look at reviews on Facebook, everyone loves it. But it's not as cutting edge as a lot of machines in the looks and the use, but actually detecting 2-tone, that's all it is, and crikey, is it deep. And my mate came out with me with 3 other detectors, and it was beating them. And we're talking ones that were double the price. So, yeah, it'll be in Treasure Hunting magazine soon, the review.
Fantastic. Well, Graham's with us now. I'm going to let Luke. We've come up with a new system tonight, so we'll all be able to run smoothly in the future if Luke has mechanical issues at his end again. So I'm sort of like sharing it all now, and I'm not going to let him keep my eyes off stuff. Good evening, Graham. How are you?
Good evening, David. Good evening, Adrian.
Hi,
Good
Dave. Graham.
How are you, Fest? Graham, you well?
It's the camera, mate. That's what it is. Does me no justice, does it? I've got a face for the radio, definitely.
Fester.
Are you well, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, yeah, thanks.
Fantastic. So, Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Graham has had the new website built, and all manner of new things appear on there. So, first of all, Graham, let's talk about your website. All new look, etc., etc. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a totally fresh look, new look to it. Products are all there. Everything's in ship shape order, and it just gives a better perspective and a cleaner look to the old website. I think it's more appealing. And thanks very much, Adrian, for helping me out, mate.
What did I do? Oh, I took some pictures for you.
That's right. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, I think you can. It's nice because anyone in the world, Graham ships his products anywhere in the world now, don't you, Graham?
57 countries, or 57 or 58 countries now around the globe we've shipped to.
There's quite an hilarious one last week, which was actually all written in Chinese.
It was in Japanese. It was, yeah.
Japanese.
The Japanese one, yeah. So go on.
Sorry, it's just great that you've developed this product and you're the British company, 57 countries around the world. That's pretty impressive. So well done. That's a cracking thing. And predominantly, what are they buying? I know the cleaning pencil company, but you do a lot more. What's the most popular product?
Mostly it's the pencils, the wax. Usually the value kit, which is like the pencil, the wax, and the refills, which is one of our biggest sellers that we've sold on eBay and the website, and they just keep flying. It's just good value, and they're just good for everyone.
But you've got other products, Graham. You've got the clean. The stuff in a bottle.
Oh right, okay, yeah, nice.
Brandy.
Tell me a bit about this, because it used to be the Gladius.
Yeah, so we used to supply. We used to sell Gladius from a supplier, and the supplier actually went and finished and closed and bankrupt. And we still need it because there's a lot of requests out there for the coin cleaning solution. So we decided to get in touch with a chemical engineer who's come up with a water-based solution, which is it reacts better, it's eco-friendly still, and you can still reuse and reuse it. So that's what we wanted, was in a bottle. So it does everything that you need.
So I'm out detecting. I find a crusty Roman with all green and brown clod all over it. Just run me through what I should do and how I should use the cleaning solution.
Right. So basically, all you do is you get your Roman bronze or your silver denarius. It's more specialised for silver, silver hammers, Roman silvers. And what you would do is you'd actually put it into a tub, a couple of drops of the solution into there, and leave it to soak for 20 minutes. Then you take it out, you give it a wipe, put it on some paper towel, and then you can start working with your brass insert or your one of the inserts, usually the black one, and just work around the dirt and just apply drops to it until you've cleaned the whole coin.
So not like something that I do where I put it in a little tub, covering the coin and forget about it for about 2 weeks until we're on the show with you and I'll go, oh dear, it's still there.
No, it won't do nothing to the coin. All it'll do is you've got a really heavily encrusted coin. It will soak, it will just keep penetrating until it gets to the surface of the patina, and then it'll lift the dirt from the patina without ruining the patina. So if you've got a really heavily encrusted, which I've seen burnt on material on denariuses that people are just afraid to clean, that is soaked and then just picked at it, took it back, put it in the tub, soaked it, and took 3 weeks, and then came out as a perfect denarius. That's how you clean it. So
I've had a couple of denarius. My mate James in the chat will vouch for this, and I found them, and they were just a crusty, brown, dirty lump of something. And I was like, I think that's Roman. And they're like, normal thing, get home, get the kitchen roll out, take over the kitchen, water everywhere, mud spurted up. And I put it in your solution, forgot about it. I think I put it in on the Sunday about 5 o'clock, and then I had dinner, and it was 8 o'clock Monday night. I took it out, and the water, it went greeny brown, and then I gave it a slight brush with a Kappa, which you'll read. I think it's in next month's Treasure Hunting magazine cleaning brush thing, and it came off really clean, and then went over it with a bit of foil, and I've got it under here actually in a case. It is sparkling silver, beautiful. Yeah. But I thought it was one of those things you find, and unless you clean your finds, I know some archaeologists might get funny about things like this, but for me, it's a one-off find, and I was really impressed with it. And what got me is there's no smell, and you're saying it's environmentally friendly, and I remember a few shows back I said you could drink it, and I probably shouldn't.
Well, I wouldn't drink it, mate.
No,
I wouldn't drink it.
I did.
It's a water-based, a specialized water-based solution. So it's the activating ingredients in there are the vegetables, like some type of like vegetable derivatives or something. I would describe it more like a yeast, that it just it reacts and it wants to bond and then penetrate into the dirt.
Yeah, it worked well for me, and I use it now. And it's reusable, you say?
Yeah, mate. You can put it back in the bottle, or you can put the lid on the little what's it called? Little cup that we provide, and you can just use it and use it and use it. So it's great value for money. But when you said before about a crusty silver Roman coin, you did know it was. That's the idea of the whole company, is to reveal. It's just revealing detail. I know the archaeologists say, "Oh, don't clean it," but you don't know what you've got until you've cleaned it.
Some, don't get me wrong, some like coins I find, I leave them as they are. But when you don't know what it is, there's the box there, Graham. Do you want to tell us more about the box?
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's new, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a balsa wood There it is. It's a balsa wood box, and I mean the whole kit fits inside. So there's a full kit, and you can throw your coins in there. It just keeps everything in one place. The whole kit fits inside.
Nice.
Yeah. So you get the cleaning solution, you get the wax, all the refills, and the pencil, and it's still great value.
And if I can't speak, I'm so excited about cleaning stuff. I'm looking. You've also got my favourite thing, which I did have here, but the housing manager's moved it. Oh dear, where's she put that? This is my station where all my detecting stuff is, and I can't see it.
Are you looking for one of these?
Yes, that's my favourite, because in the UK we use these going to school and put our pencils and stuff in, but it's gone. We keep everything. It keeps it all in one place. I love that, and that's 3D printed, Graham, isn't it?
That's 3D printed, and it's 40% recycled wood as well, so helping the environment.
Wood, wow.
Yeah.
And I think we'll show there. You got PDFs on how to clean coins as well.
Yeah.
So, Graham, with all this going on, how often do you get out protecting?
I get out probably once every 3 weeks at the moment.
And your machine of choice?
The XP Deus.
Right. Have you had that long?
I've had that for about a year and a half now.
Ah, right. And you found much recently, or?
Really, nah, nothing much. The bullets. I think I'm on Tony K Wood's level at the moment. Buttons and moo tubes.
I'll send you a sticker.
So, Graham, your website, what is the address again?
Yeah, it's cleanandpencil.com.
Right, okay. And is there any new products coming up soon? Because you seem to be having stuff like quite a lot.
Yeah, so we've got we're waiting for bottles to come. We've actually got 2 new products coming. One is it'll be in a bottle, something like this, but it's like a soap. So it'll come out like a liquid soap, and you get a brush with that as well. A soft, like bamboo toothbrush, basically. And that's specialized for milled and like Victorian coins, that kind of stuff. You put it on, you use the brush on it, and it just lifts off the dirt. It's more designed for modern coinage than ancient coinage.
That's interesting, because modern coins are easier to clean, but at the same time can be tricky without damaging them. So when will that be available?
That'll be available in the next week or 2. We're just waiting on bottles to come and labels and the instruction cards, and then we're ready to go then.
Perfect little Christmas thing. It's a shame because my kids won't be watching this show because it's for saddos like us, and but a great little Christmas. Could
you just imagine the kids under the Christmas tree with the old Vicky coins, a bit of liquid soap, just look at this, look, it's an 1880. Those are the days, weren't they?
I think my wife would love the cleaning solution for Christmas.
Yeah.
Not just for the coins, but for the kitchen. I should try it actually, but I've got to keep quiet because I think I'll get her like 12 bottles or something. She'd love that for Christmas.
Well, we're going to have an ultrasonic cleaner as well. So anyone's got an ultrasonic bath, we're actually bringing a solution out. I think it's a litre or half a litre bottles, again, for specially designed for the ultrasonic machines.
Oh, I've got one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got one. Problem is every time I get it out, it's Dad's in the kitchen again. It's almost like you're cooking, but do you know what I mean? It's like tin foil.
Adrian, from what Graham's told me, when it comes to cooking in the kitchen, you'll never beat him.
Graham, pack lunch when you go to Tectin.
All right, mate. Well, definitely a Scotch egg.
Ooh, nice pocket meat.
Yeah. I can imagine what exact Scotch egg you want as well.
Yeah, it's got to be a good one, like the Cumberland sausage, that type of, Tesco's ones. You can't get the cheapy ones. It's got to be the £2 for 2, them ones,
And Just a Scotch egg you take out?
Just no Scotch egg. I'll take a sandwich. Sometimes they'll stop off at the at McDonald's and get a sausage and egg or something like that for breakfast. So just a snack, a couple of packs of crisps, some wheat crunchies, maybe. Lucasade. I'll take a Lucasade orange sporty thing.
So yeah. Scotch egg.
Graham, do you have any? A lot of companies obviously are going with Christmas specials at the moment. Do you have anything coming up for Christmas on the Cleaning Pencil site?
Well, what we're doing is like I said, we're doing the special offer on these. There's a couple of pounds that have been reduced down to £45 now for the full kit, which is a bargain. So anyone who's
certainly is. I've seen it. I've seen the content. Obviously, see how much everything costs, and I was there when you introduced yourself to the box as well. So that's fantastic. Great to see.
If people ordered tonight, Graham, what is it, Thursday? What shipping do you offer next day or?
Well, we do sign for, so anything like the storage box kit, they go all out signed for with Royal Mail. So usually it's just a couple of days for delivery. Our first class large letter usually takes a day or two to get there.
Right. Okay. I've not had post for 3 weeks where I live.
Yeah, we've had a few reports like that as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare at the moment. So I suppose if anyone does order, Royal Mail have got problems, I think, but they're probably all gone away driving for other companies or something. But no, it's interesting, and I think if people have a look on your website, there's a lot of stuff on there. And the pencil, we've seen the pencil, and I think the average detectorist has got the pencil, and everyone likes it. We all on your website, you've got a lot of YouTubers who've used it everywhere. It's not like the fiberglass ones where you get all bits in your fingers and you're constantly going like that.
We get actually getting specialised coin cleaning coin dealers as well. Who are actually cleaning up their own Romans. So we supply to a guy in Canada. He's a specialised coin restorer, and he does all the cleaning with only our tools. So even the wax, he uses the wax as well. So Denmark.
I do like the wax. I used that on the steel yard weight, which I showed just before you came on the show. And that came out the ground. Lovely patina on it. And obviously, the longer I had it out, it started going a bit funny. And I put that on there. And it's beautiful. Really, really nice.
Is it lead or is it bronze?
Bronze.
Oh,
bronze.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really, really.
That's nice one, yeah.
One of my favourite finds. I found that with the Deep Tech Vista that I took out. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of the Vista, yeah. I've heard of the Vista.
Vista X, yeah. And keep plugging it, but I'm not getting any money or anything. But I just
Adrian, one of the viewers earlier on asked about the weight that you'd found, the one that I thought was a crotal bell. What weight is it?
It is blinking. James, if you're in the chat, tell him. I gave it to him and he went, "Oh, crotal bell." Put it in his hand. I haven't weighed it because I don't have scales because I live in Essex. So if I have got scales, people think I'm doing drugs. So it's probably 5 times the weight of a crotal bell, if that helps. It feels like lead, solid lead. It really, really is like bang, really heavy, but beautiful. One of my favourite.
Drop it on your toe for a laugh. See what happens.
No. So yeah, I've found steel yard weights before, but never one as lovely as that.
Does it have an emblem on it, like a shield
it's got shields.
3 lions?
It's got 4 shields with horizontal and vertical lines on it, and it's got a marking in the sign, looks like some writing or something. But yeah, really, really.
Yeah, it's important on that. Yeah.
And that was on a permission, typical metal detecting, been on the land many years, found odds and sods, and then suddenly you go on there, they've just pulled up. What did they have on there? Oh, sugar beet, pulled the sugar beet up and literally not ploughed it, just the sugar beets come up, and it's quite compacted soil, and it was there about 6 inches down. So yeah. I found lots of other things this weekend as well. Look, this is a typical. I've got to sort myself out. That all that put on there. Look at it.
Yeah, I've got one of them.
Mainly lead. And a bit of lead, thimble, and I've got a hammer there that needs tidying up with a pencil, which I know you say don't use it on silver, but just the brush.
You can use the black one. You can use the black one, but I mean, even the cleaning solution, a couple of drops and a cotton wool bud is enough, and it doesn't tarnish the H patina, right?
So just to get this right, with the pencil, you get a black nib and a white nib, and the difference between the two is
the black one's softer, so it's less abrasive, and the white one is more for like the first surface cleaning. If you've got like a dry coin, then you use it. Never clean straight away a coin straight out of the field. You've got to let it dry first, so it's settled.
Yeah,
I've got something, and I don't know what it is. Can you or the viewers advise? You know, I'm not great at identifying. So you've got a bit of lead. See? Finger-sized bit of lead. You with me? Luke, big screen. Oh, I could do it myself, actually. Oh, there you are. There it is. Big lead. And it's all the way through. So we're talking little finger size. Any idea?
Fishing weight?
Don't tell him that. 1987 fishing weight. Yeah. No, I think lead was like plastic in the day back then. So there's.
I hate that saying. Back in the day.
No, it was back in the period.
You Cockneys love saying that. Back in the day.
No, it's. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't understand. No, it was like plastic. Lead was such a revolution in when. I nearly said back in the day. They used it for everything, didn't they? Pot men's, weights, you name it. Legs, hats, lead hats, like Monopoly.
Water pipes.
Well, oh God,
Teeth.
Alzheimer's, don't get me on that.
No.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of water in our houses, didn't we, from lead pipes, which isn't a good thing, but yeah.
Well, listen, Graham, thank you for coming on, telling us all about the new website and what have you. You know, we'd love to have you all night, but you don't like going on all night. But we had you anyway. So, obviously, we'll speak to you before Christmas, etc. And obviously, if anybody hasn't got the products, go over and have a look at them. I think we all will tell you how worthwhile the products are and wax lyrical, won't we, Adrian?
Yeah.
I love that phrase, wax lyrical. That's my wax lyrical is yours back in the day. Wax lyrical.
That's when records, that's a cylinder, isn't it? Wax lyrical. When they recorded sound through cylinders, it was wax cylinders. I can tell you a story about that. No, I won't. Yeah. Anyway, Graham, lovely seeing you, mate.
Yeah.
And
Cheers, pal.
We'll speak soon.
Thanks so much, Adrian. Thanks, Dave, for all your support. And Luke and Laura in the background as well. Thank you.
Cheers, my friend. There you go. That was Graham Dempsey from the Composite Cleaning Pencil. Didn't even need anything to read. What?
Fester.
Oh, it's behind me head. I could have done that. Read it off the screen.
You called him Fester.
Well,
He does
come
look
on.
like him, but
He does look like him.
He does look like him. But yeah.
Well, we've got he's like, I can see a little thumbnail at the bottom of the screen here in the studio. I can see him giggling. Bye, Graham. I thought he was doing he's waving now. So let's bring on our next guest tonight, Kerry Fuller. Good evening, Kerry.
Hello.
It's our kidnap victim.
Yeah, I should have put my hands behind my back, but I've been allowed out. So, hello everybody in the chat. I must say,
Kerry.
this is not. I'd rather be in the chat making sarcastic comments than.
Well, you're only on for a brief period. Just I asked you to come on, give us a brief update about certain things, and tell us about your experiences being a kidnap victim so far.
With the Stockholm syndrome, yeah.
The Stockholm syndrome, that's the one.
That's why
So-
I'm wine.
Firstly, Lost Tapes of History podcast. Fantastic first series. And you're now currently recording series 2.
Yeah, as you well know, because you've done your one, but unfortunately we had teething problems with Adrian's one, so I've got Adrian tomorrow, I think. It's all merging into one. But yeah,
3
we're
o'clock.
recording as we speak, so very exciting.
Yeah. I've been kindly chosen to be the sex tutor.
Sex pest.
No, the Arthur Tudor and his sex education. I won't read anything from the script, but Kerry kindly chose me. And there's some metal detecting double entendres in there, isn't there, Kerry?
You're probably referring to Shaft, aren't you?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, we're recording that on tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's your podcast. They've gone from strength. You're on Spotify. You're on Apple thing, whatever that is. Apple. What's the Apple one? iTunes. God, how can I forget that?
And Audible. Yeah.
And
Audible.
yes, and don't forget Audible. So, how many episodes have you done now, Kerry?
Season 1's 37. Season 2 will be 35, so slightly fewer, but still quite a lot of work. And in fact, with the one that I recorded last night, I did think about you, Adrian, because it was Sir Thomas Wyatt and a poet. And I don't really know much about Thomas Wyatt. I read his biography, but he's this kind of, romantic poet. So he's in prison and he's reciting all this romantic poetry. But the guy next to him is a very northern poet who writes limericks. So every time Thomas starts to talk about, go into a poem, the guy next door says, "There once was a guy from Nantucket," and then Thomas interrupts him and carries on, and then he'll say, "There once was a man from Venus who had an enormous," and then Thomas Wyatt interrupts him again. So every time the guy tries to say a limerick, Thomas Wyatt interrupts him with one of his poems. So
I could have been the limerick.
I think either of us could have done that, Adrian, to be fair.
Yeah. It's when Kerry gave me the script, I read it at Detective. No, was it Detective?
It was
Yes,
Detectable,
it was.
Yeah.
And we were on the stand, the ArkMD stand, and I was on the Treasure Hunting magazine stand next door, and I kept getting nicely interrupted by people asking questions and chatting and saying hello and things like that, and asking for my autograph, of course, to be tattooed on their arms or bottom. And I laughed a lot. There's some good humour in there, and you use some very I don't know if you've mirrored it on me, but I won't say what quotes you've put in there, but a lot of it is funny and people laugh when I use that terminology. I was trying to think of something to say, but with do you want to just explain a bit about how the whole podcast works for those who are new on the show tonight? Because the Lost Tapes of History, it can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to explain it is that it's a bit like Horrible Histories, but what I've tried to do is pick somebody from the past. So, for example, season 2, they're all Tudors, so it's 35 Tudors. So it could be any of Henry's wives, it could be Francis Drake, it could be Walter Raleigh, it could be Margaret Pole or Margaret Tudor or Arthur Tudor in your case. And each of them is paired with a modern job title. And the person with the job title is basically the juxtaposition of talking to that person. So you learn about the monarch through the context in which you're putting them. So Dave's episode is Lambert Simnel and the Chef. Lambert Simnel is a 10-year-old boy who was a pretender to the throne. He tried to get Henry II off of the throne by pretending to be one of the princes in the tower. And Henry VII found him, obviously, and put him to work in his kitchen. So that is a true story. So I just thought, hang on, what would this chef be like who's faced with this 10-year-old boy who knows nothing about cooking? He tried to get rid of the king that he's now working for. What would that conversation be like? So Dave is basically a chef and he's walking Lambert through the Tudor kitchen, so you learn quite a lot about the Tudor kitchens.
Is Dave into
I actually did learn a lot about Tudor kitchens just by doing the reading, so that was nice.
It's kind of learning by accident because everything in it is fact. So everything that is mentioned really happened. It's so the idea is that you just listen and you just absorb it, and you don't really know it's all going in, but it's all true. So Catherine of Aragon is with a nun because Henry tried to get her to enter a nunnery, and I thought, well, they'd send a nun in, wouldn't they? They'd send a nun in, and the nun would be trying to convince her to come and live with them, and she's having none of it. But the nun is trying her very best to persuade her to come and live with them.
Kerry, in 2029, when you probably have sold your production to the BBC, and they're saying, write another script, a different series or something, because quite often producers want you to back up your theory with another thing. Have you ever thought about reversing it so that putting me or Dave in the 1530s or something, the other way round?
I have nightmares about it, to be honest, and my therapist says I need to talk about it more. But I hadn't really thought about it.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks.
No, sorry. Oh, she's got on. It's triggered her. She's having a breakdown. No, I just think in the modern day, if how we are today, we went back. You couldn't get away with the free speech wasn't as open then, and we would have all been killed probably, or hung, or our heads cut off. But it's
like that in modern society, to be honest, mate.
Well,
I was going to say you can't say a lot now, really. So
no, you can't. But you can walk down the street in a mini skirt, man or woman. In those days, it would have been totally, Joan of Arc being thrown and seeing if she sunk, like witches in those days when they were thrown in a lake, and if they floated,
she was burned alive, so she didn't really have a very good time.
No. But I just wonder if you've got any ideas for the future or anything, or maybe going on YouTube with it. Is that something you thought of?
I did think about animating it, because actually I think animation would work quite well. I think you could, animate 15, 20 minutes and it wouldn't require huge amounts of work to just have the characters talking. But it is predominantly an audio channel. I purposefully wrote it so that you didn't need to see anybody, you didn't need to see any hand gestures or any kind of visual effects. It was all written to be audio. So
that's how me and Dave have got on it, Dave.
That'll be why.
Yeah, because if it was video, it just wouldn't.
It'd break down in an instant.
Yeah, it would do.
So some of the times which she had to say, right, Dave, start again was quite.
Oh, you liar!
You did.
I was laughing through a lot of it, and I couldn't do my lines. And then Dave delivered a line which was not at all funny. And he started laughing in the middle of it. And I was like, Dave, that's not funny. He's like, well, I think it's funny.
It was to me.
So, yeah, took a bit longer than usual to do it. But
have you thought ever, since you've sadly got involved in the world of metal detecting, have you come up with any ideas or thoughts on creating a podcast based around metal detecting? So I'm not saying the detectorists, but something similar, like conversations in the pub between Gary and Dave, who've been metal detecting.
Thanks,
again,
Adrian.
Not a huge amount of thought, no. And also that probably would sound a lot like detectorists, right? Like I'm sure Mackenzie would be like, listening in on a lot of conversations and writing those down for his own TV program. So you've got to do something different. That's the thing. I don't like doing stuff that's the same as everybody else. So
no, but no one's done a podcast on metal detectorists conversations, which is quite interesting.
They are interesting and possibly not for broadcasting.
What about?
Yes.
What about? You like this one? Let's go back to the 70s. Confessions of a Metal Detectorist.
Oh, God.
That couldn't be published. But you're right, Kerry. I think there's a lot of banter that's potentially politically incorrect in the modern world. But the conversations, if you go to a club, it's interesting. So, how big's your coil? How deep does that go? There's certain.
Have you found much? What have you found?
You found much? How much is that worth? Yeah. Have you taken that to the flow? Yeah.
You're
Have you got night
selling it.
hawkers?
You're really selling the hobby to me. I mean, you're making it sound, really, really fascinating.
It actually is. When I go to my club meets, it's like there's a lot of characters there. So you could sit there on your own. Well, people do. They come on their own. You sit there all night. There's a lot of different characters. You've got from a doctor to a dustman. There's a hierarchy, but it's all disintegrated because it's all about metal detecting. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, whether you're new or old. The conversation is pretty much the same. Yeah, I think it'd be quite good, quite interesting.
I mean, I'd hate to take the trademark, Adrian. I'm sure.
I'm doing it tonight. I'm doing it. Yeah. So your podcasts, obviously, they're downloaded. Can you? Is it all over the world? People, obviously, because it's on the internet. You idiot.
Yeah.
Do you get much feedback from people? Like,
I get a lot of Americans writing to me. Actually, the Americans really love the monarchy and that sort of thing, don't they? They love British history. So I get quite a lot of them emailing me and saying, "Oh my God, I love your podcast," but in a better American accent, obviously.
Welsh.
Yes.
So she sounded like Big Andy last week, then, didn't she?
That was an interesting show, wasn't it?
Big Andy, legend.
Yeah, Miller's detective.
I want to kind of just wander around following him and seeing him get up to mischief in life. Generally, he's just that kind of person, isn't he? You just want to follow him around all day, going, "What's he getting up to now? I don't know."
His pupils are so lucky, and I don't mean his eyes either. The Just Detect draws will be taking place in about the next 5 minutes or so. So, Kerry, it's been a good. When did you first come on? Was it about February? April. So it's about a good 6 months since 7 months nearly since we first met the podcast. And joking aside, we didn't so much kidnap you as corral you into joining us at Detectable back in April. Shut up, phone. Selling me alarms. I'm not interested. You've since been out with Niall and Luke metal detecting with the Peaky Finders, and then again you come to Detectable back in September. So, what is from somebody who absolutely no knowledge or interest in metal detecting, apart from obviously the detectorists, what's it been like for you?
It's been a journey. She says diplomatically. No, it's been really fun. It's just been really, and I wouldn't have come back, and I wouldn't still be talking to you if I wasn't sort of enjoying it. It's just really good fun. It's just really good fun. It's the people, actually. It's not actually the act of detecting, although I am interested in what people dig up and stuff. But really, it's the crack, as the Irish would say. So I consider myself possibly a detecting groupie rather than a detector.
What, Dave? I've just got a photo to share, if that's okay. That was us at Detectable, which was Kerry, which was really nice.
Thank God that's the one that you showed, because I was a little bit worried there, Adrian.
So you meet people like this.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quite interesting. And Dave and me and him on stage. Oh, that's something from work. How do I stop sharing? I was trying to find the picture, Dave, of you and Kerry having a back massage, which was quite interesting at Detectable. But I won't.
Don't know what you're on about, mate. Don't know what you're on about.
That's a dream I think you had.
People came up to the stand and said, "Oh, there's no one here," and yeah, that was quite interesting. But will you be coming to Detectable or Rodney Cook next year, Kerry?
If I'm invited, if I have a job to do, I quite like.
You always have a job to do.
Have you thought of doing one of your shows on stage?
Ooh, that could be interesting because me and Adrian could do it for you. We could be the actors on stage.
Yeah.
That'd be quite hilarious. Hold
I'll
on.
think about
Hold
it.
on. Adrian. Dare. Double dare. Physical challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Kerry. You know that, surely. You don't know double dare physical challenge?
I know of the concept when I was like 12.
Well, it's still
42 now,
it
so
still
it's kind of not really
means
the kind of thing.
30 years later, it's still the
Yeah.
same.
Right, okay. It's not changed then. Yeah, except that the dares are going to be a lot more grown up than perhaps at 12, right? I'm out. I'm out.
Pineapple
Dave,
rum. What?
We'll do it.
When you went detecting actually with Luke and Niall, you didn't find much, but did you enjoy that?
You know, it was really. Luke was brilliant. I all credit to Luke because he spent so much time with me, and he brought his simplex. He buried stuff in the ground. He showed me how to use it. He showed me all the detector and how it worked. He spent such a long time with me on it. It was just a really useful introduction to it. I just said him put who's alpha in chat, as I know I'm not. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm the alpha.
Dave, no,
I'm
let
the
it go.
alpha.
Kerry, if you're going to
Yes.
buy a metal detector tomorrow, not that you're known in the, you've not really done it, apart from with Luke. What metal detector brand comes into your head straight away?
LP.
No, that's a seller,
Is it?
distributor.
Oh, see?
What make of metal detector? Like Ford, Vauxhall, or? Come on, you can do it. Come on, just think of all them flags.
What did you use with Luke?
I used a simplex.
What was the make?
I don't know.
No, that's interesting. Brand awareness.
My brand awareness. Well, of course, my brand awareness is 0. I mean, what does that say? XP.
No,
Oh, XP. Well done, Kerry. That's a brand.
Thanks.
That's the big trending one at the moment because they're bringing out a new metal detector next month.
Right.
But,
Okay.
so, would you buy a metal detector?
No, probably not, because I know what I'm like, and I will end up buying the most expensive piece of kit out there and then never using it, because that's the kind of thing I do. I really, really enjoyed it. I really had a good time. But number one, I'm really impatient. So unless I found something in 5 minutes, I would just be like, I don't have a car, so I can't get anywhere. People have to pick me up and drive me around. And Luke, bless him, picked me up from Eastbourne and drove me all the way over to Hastings where we were going. So, I rely on other people routing me around. And finally, peeing behind a bush is not my idea of a good time.
Who does that?
Sorry?
Well, when
What were
you're
you
a girl,
doing?
you can't just go and stand behind a tree.
Oh, a bush in a field.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And Niall very kindly offered me a bucket in the back of his van, but
What?
you have to draw the line somewhere. And
Niall's always been a peculiar one, hasn't he?
He tried that trick on me. Yeah.
And me.
There's a lot of
I didn't like
cameras
to
in the back
say.
of his van. No, he's got a lot of hidden cameras. Don't fall for that. You didn't do it, Kerry, did you?
I got changed in the back of his van. Now you're telling me there's cameras in the back. Oh, well. It's not ended up on YouTube. So
He's a wizard with technology and Wi-Fi cameras. He's He's renowned for it. No, the Peter. Yeah, he is an absolute nightmare. I've met him once, briefly, but yeah, you've got to watch yourself. He drives. Did he say he's got puppies in his van as well, like kittens or puppies?
No.
And he's a slow runner as well, Adrian. Very slow runner.
Yeah.
Some people say to me, if you could go back in time, where would you go? Would you go Tudor period, Georgians, the Romans. I say, no, I'd go back to that Saturday night in June, a Detectable, and I wouldn't have that effing conversation. That's when I'd go back in my time machine. It wasn't worth it. The conversation was not worth all the heartache that came.
There's a lot of
after it.
conversations
So-
at Detectable. I think people. Well, you're lucky you remember it because Dave didn't. But
I'm not allowed
yeah,
to forget it, to be fair. I would rather just ignore it and pretend it never happened. But I'm not
1, 2,
allowed
3,
to,
and you're
so-
back.
yeah.
Well, listen, Kerry, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you and see you visually instead of by text message. And obviously the videos from Niall, I will get them sent over to you, Adrian. And we look forward to getting season 2 of The Lost Tapes of History.
Yes, and I'll speak to you tomorrow, Kerry, at 3:00.
They're not too far behind.
So thank you exceptionally much for coming on and telling us about that and updating us on the thing. So I will speak to you soon. It's Kerry from The Lost Tapes of History. Good night.
Bye. Dave, I can't stop laughing at the comments in the chat. Luke's put, in case the tools get stolen, it records 24/7, the camera in his van. And Gareth Howard, was there a dirty mattress in the back? Sorry. Shouldn't joke about things like that, but it's life, isn't it?
Well, listen, we're going over now. Luke, would you be able to share the screen for me? We've got 3 Just Detect prize draws coming up, and the last of which will be the US draw. So it's the first US draw in where are we now? What is my thing? With Calico. So I'm just waiting for. Oh, wait, I haven't even done it, have I? Sorry, Luke, I haven't done it yet. That's why. Share the screen. I haven't done it. Duh. Right, now I'm sharing the screen. Sorry, Luke. Here we are. So, the first of the prize. So this Just Detect, obviously. Go download the free app and you'll be able to learn all about it. Record your finds, add your own photos, prize draws, your own profile, and you can upload now your own videos as well. So first prize tonight is an LP for this draw, an LP £100 gift card. Second is Finds Identified book, and third is the aforementioned Composite Cleaning Pencil kit. So without further ado, oh, that was me. I'm in. Scott Jason Jones, Dan Richardson.
I like the way it jumps with the names.
Shane Holdcroft. That must hurt. Joe Kopvix again.
Oh,
winner, chicken winner.
Crikey. He's just, if he's watching tonight, his book, what did we send him, Dave?
It was the new book from Greenlight Publishing.
Yes, the Detecting Finds book. That's in the post to him, and he's won that as well. So well done.
Fantastic. Next up is a Finds Identified book. Scotty. I saw Scotty then. I saw Rodney Marsh as well.
Oh.
The footballer he was. Ash Jones. Shane Holdcroft. Simon Hawkins.
No. Can you spin it again? Can you spin it again?
I'll tell you what I'll do. Scott, if you're watching, I'm going to spin it again, and then I'm going to spin it again. So this prize won't be for the Composite Cleaning Pencil kit, if I can do this right. If not, we will sort something out otherwise.
Yeah, I'll be fair on this. I've got that. So
if you probably win the Composite Cleaning Pencil kit now as well.
Yeah. Fine.
Ash Jones. Right. No, it says draw complete. So we could just throw that back in the mix, can't we, at some point? Speak to Scott and throw that back in the mix.
How about if Scott's watching? Yes, he is. He can say something like, I don't know, follow Just Detect on Instagram or like them on Facebook or something like that or whatever. So Scott, sorry, dropping you in it.
They will be communicated with via the app, I think, and obviously you'll be sought out how to claim your prizes. Next draw is the big one. It's for a Nocta Macro Simplex with the wireless headphones, Composite Cleaning Pencil kit, and Just Detect merch. So, Nocta Macro Simplex, big prize. Who's going to win that? Graham Gooch, Rodney Morse, and Graham Gooch. Fantastic.
Oh,
Marius Spirius. So, Marius Spirius, you've won a Nocta Macro Simplex with wireless headphones. Next up for the Composite Cleaning Pencil kit. If this is me now, I'll put it back in as well.
I haven't seen my name, so I'm quite. I don't know if I think I entered this.
Courtney Traquare. I hope I've pronounced that right.
That's a nice name. That's a
It
nice
is lovely.
name. Yeah.
And for the Just Detect merchandise,
Tony Kaywood. That one's going a bit quicker.
he needs to change his name on this to Buttons.
Mr. Buttons. Oh,
Jason Stevens. So in this draw, first prize for the Nocta Macro Simplex with wireless headphones, Marius Spirius. That's an ace name as well. Composite Cleaning Pencil kit to Courtney Traquare, and the Just Detect merch is Jason Stevens. Now, this is the first USA giveaway draw in, I can't remember the word I'm looking for, in association with Calico, who I believe are the biggest sales company of metal detectors in the USA, I think. We actually had two people from Calico on the show earlier in the year, didn't we?
Lovely people. Very,
Absolutely.
very nice. Yeah. They've got a great website as well with a lot of
fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant. So your first prize, an Nocta Pulse Dive pinpointer, followed by a Calico Elite metal detecting bag, a Calico t-shirt, and a Calico patch. So we're not, I don't think we're actually going to know any of the people in this draw, are we? We haven't probably come across.
I know Robert Breeden. I went ice skating with him once when I was in California, and weightlifting. Oh, David Pawinski.
David Pawinski.
Nice.
The Calico Elite metal detecting bag winner is. I used to like the guess the number at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
To be honest, it got a bit. When we first started doing it, it was hilarious. Oh God, it's one of them.
Ah, Gary.
Gehrig Zukowski.
Well done.
Is the winner of the Calico Elite metal detecting bag. Apologies, the pronunciation. I do that with English people too. So, third prize is for a Calico t-shirt. And I'm under the presumption you'll be contacted in the same way to get your details over to Calico from Just Detect.
Someone there was called Treasure Master. Oh.
Jeff Mitchell wins the Calico t-shirt. And finally, for the Calico patch, I think we should have Shane in the studio in the background now, ready to come on as soon as the draw's over.
I think the production team are just putting his makeup on and getting him ready. So,
how do you pronounce that?
Kohol.
Kohol.
Kohol. Kohol.
Alcohol.
It's Welsh, I think.
Ah, right. So the winner of the Nocta Pulse Dive pinpointer, David Pawinski, the Calico Elite metal detecting bag, Gehrig Zukowski, Calico t-shirt, Jeff Mitchell, and the Calico patch, Cole.
Sorry.
I was
Miles
bouncing
away.
then. Hello.
I just sent my boss a WhatsApp of my coins, minuscule WhatsApp of my coins collection earlier tonight. And he's just come back to me and went, "Oh my God, you found that with a metal detector?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's I think
Didn't he do the Adrian, you're so boring, you're sacked?
No. My boss, everyone I work with, is massively interested in metal detecting. I come in on a Monday morning. First thing they say is, "All right, good weekend, Adrian. What'd you find? Where did you go?" And I was like, "Oh, showing pictures now. Wow, that's like 100 years old." And then suddenly you show them a hammered 500 years old. I was like, "Yeah." And then you show them other stuff. "What's that? How do you know?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got a book," and it tells me.
Is it finds identified?
Finds identified is, but the new one from Greenlight is the one which I keep forgetting the name of. Metal detecting finds, greenlightpublishing.com. That, to me, line drawings are key. A line drawing, I find your eye focuses. When you flick through the book, you find it better. That's why people, illustrators, do what they do. Because
I know our next guest's actually holding a copy up ready for when you come on. Identifying detector find, it's called.
Yes, I should know what it is. But yeah, I've got a copy somewhere.
Very much looking forward to receiving mine. Good evening, Shane.
Good evening, guys. You okay?
All right, with your identifying detector. How do you find the book?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The pictures in it, mate. And some of the stuff I didn't even know I had.
So you've actually identified things that you possess that you didn't know what they were via the book?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good book. Really good book. Bigger than you think as well.
Look forward to getting it. So, we obviously had you on a couple of weeks ago. We discussed the air detector, and you've obviously field tester for Archem DMAG, and you've been out to play with that little beauty.
I certainly have, and what an amazing pointer it is.
So what are your thoughts? Tell us why you think it's an amazing pinpointer.
Well, one, it's light. It weighs nothing. Yes, I put you the Johnny on the end, Dave, and I put you a little strap on for you to play with.
That's actually fell out the box and it's here, the other one.
Sorry, butting in, Shane, did it come with that, how can I put it?
That one?
No, yes. Did it come with the rubber bit at the end and the locker key thing?
It comes with two of them.
Right. And did it come with the yellow bit?
No, it comes with a black one.
House.
It's here somewhere. Yeah. Inevitably, I can't find it, but it's here.
But pointer, light, very, very powerful. I was actually, if you watch the video, I was surprised it actually kicked in before the carrot kicked in. I tested it against my spade, and this was picking up my spade before the carrot was. Fully waterproof up to 5 meters deep. And I think the big thing about it, rechargeable.
Is it USB-C?
Yes, I can even show it you.
Everything's USB-C now. Phones,
certainly is.
Well, if you're Android.
What's USB-C? That shape of the charger.
Yeah, so if you've got a Samsung or a modern mobile phone or your laptop, modern laptop, everything's USB-C. It's high-powered, more efficient, better for the environment, I think. It charges more efficiently. But, Shane, a couple of questions. Have you tested it on Coke? Coke as in coal. And what did it read?
It picks it up.
So does it pick it up as ferrous or non-ferrous? Red or green? Yeah, green.
Green.
Okay.
Depends on the size of the Coke, to be fair, because what I found with the pointer in the beginning is if you find a target really, really far away, the discrimination isn't the best. So if it's near enough at its max, then the discrimination's flicking between red and green anyway. But as soon as you start getting a little bit closer, it's when it starts to pick it back up, and actually the discrimination does work then.
Right. And how long has the battery lasted since you've...
Well, I've
Yes.
charged it for Dave try, but I was absolutely amazed because I couldn't find anything on it to tell me how much battery was left on it. So I plugged it back in to charge to see how much battery was left, and it was only down 1 bar out of 4. And that day we did at least 5 hours detecting with it. And on the end of the video, the amount of finds I got, and without the trash, it got used a lot, an awful lot, put it that way.
So you've got to plug it in to charge it, see how much power it's got.
That's what I found, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't find
Okay.
anything in the settings to do to see how much battery was left on it.
I think does it like beep when it's getting low? Do you know?
Not a clue, because it never got low on me. Like I say, that was in 5-6 hours detecting, and it's still 3 bars of battery out of 4.
So potentially you could use it for a week, in theory.
Honestly, it seemed to have, I don't really want to say names, but the pointer I have at the minute, it seemed to, the battery lasted longer than the one I currently have.
Right.
Which was a big best one.
What's his name? Let me find it. Philip Wills made a good comment. He'd be interested in plugging waterproof earphones in it and using it underwater. Good call.
Ooh.
I'd be interested in seeing if the wireless headphones worked in it.
What, with a module?
You'd need a module plugged in, which probably wouldn't be waterproof.
Considering they have made it so it unscrews to put it in, I'm pretty sure they can make an add-on for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I reckon that's the next phase for that because that runs at 9.5 hertz. So that's a good frequency, not the best, but for a pinpointer, that's 9.5 hertz. You could potentially find coins on the seabed with that really, really well. So, how many times have you been out of it, Shane?
I went out the once, and the field we went on was a old market field. Well, rumoured. Honestly, the evidence we found, yes, it was. But the field we went on was littered with coke.
Just got a question from Philip Wills. My previous question, is it waterproof if you unscrew the back off it? I very much doubt.
Well, you know, this gets me because that the plugging in bit, that's a speaker. So how does that remain waterproof if the speaker's in that bit? Won't the speaker become affected by the water?
I think if you unscrew it, Shane, now, has it got a rubber seal around the speaker bit?
Yeah, you get a spare one with it as well.
So
right.
It's probably been IP rated based on that seal. But like Shane said,
it was, Dave, it's already been in water, mate, because I washed it after.
One thing I liked about it, and don't get me wrong, you know I'm not no expert, but I've never known of a pinpointer that can be ground balanced, and I thought that was very interesting.
Well, the second I turned it on, it was kicking off, and I said it on that video. The second I turned it on, it was mid-air, and it was having a wild one for some reason. So you put it to your plug, press your power button just for a short minute, and straight away it's completely fine. It's all the beeping goes away.
Graham Dempsey asks, what's the difference in sensitivity to other pinpointers you've used, especially the black one that you borrowed me?
Sensitivity wise, it depends on the setting you're on. Now, when I was in boost mode, because it has 4 modes, it has low, medium, high, and then boost. In boost mode, it was a little bit too sensitive.
Bit like the MindLab Profind 30, or I forget what it is I've got, which also has ferrous and non-ferrous identification, but it's based on the tone and the the vibration. That also does have ferrous and non-ferrous identification. It's about the same sort of price, but on yours you've got a red and a green LED. How accurate was that on ferrous and non-ferrous?
Up close, very. I'm just getting off change room, guys. Little girls woke up, she had a nightmare. I'm pretty sure you don't want to hear a 3-year-old screaming.
She's there, does pal. That's the nightmare.
But yes, green and red, pretty good. I would say again, further away it is, the less actually ideal it is.
Sorry.
Go on.
Sorry, no, go on, Shane.
As soon as you got anywhere, I would say about over 5 inches away, it's when it starts to have a little bit of a flap. That's when it doesn't quite know what it is.
But as a pinpointer, you don't want to be 5 inches away, really, do you?
No.
At the end of the day, mate, your detector still. That's the way I see it. The detector still falsies. I've always seen it as your detector. You wave over something, you don't expect an instant ID. Your detector may false iron and then go, false something good, and then turn around and go, no, that's actually iron.
Shane, did you get any interference with your Quest from it when you turned it on?
No.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
And you were using the Vanquish?
I
even had the Garrett turned on at times, testing it against the Garrett, and still got no interference between the two of them together.
I've found that. I've got a Quest, the basic Quest pinpointer, and it doesn't interfere against any detectors. Well, the Deus, but the Deus technology is like 12 years old. The frequency I detect on it, I have to notch it up a bit, but it goes. But that's interesting because Quest pinpointers, I don't know, they seem to, they make good machines, Quest, but they do make very good pinpointers as well.
Well, I had the Detectix pinpointer. I had it for 8 years. And I'd never had a problem until basically the buttons disintegrated internally.
Yeah, I think the rubber's going to go. Yeah,
absolutely. That was fantastic, and that was obviously pre-Quest.
I think on your one, Shane, it's silicon rubber, isn't it? Yeah. So that's going to last for ages.
Pressing the two buttons together can be a bit tricky.
What, when you got gloves on?
Especially with arms like that.
Yeah. The buttons are actually quite stiff to press. So when you're changing between your modes, you need to hold your setting mode and then your power mode to change between them two. Now, I was holding the power mode and then clicking the other button continuously, trying to flick through it. You can't. That's the one thing that really annoyed me with it. You have to take both fingers off and re-click the buttons. I would much prefer it if you could have just held it and just kept clicking through it just so it was a little bit quicker.
You realise you're going to have to teach me how to use it properly, don't you?
It's pretty straightforward.
It must be quite popular because I'm meant to be getting one to test, and they're out of stock at the moment. I think, I'm not sure, with Joan Allen, but I haven't had mine yet. They seem quite a popular pinpointer. Since your YouTube video, have you had many messages, people asking you questions, or?
I've had a few on the video itself, and I have actually had 2 people message me on the Just Detect app, and 2 of them have brought it.
Yeah.
Well, they asked where to buy it from, so I sent them Joan Allen's way, considering it was provided by them.
Yeah, I think Joan Allen's the only place you can get it, can't you?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Shane, this is now the second product that I've given you to test, as well as the air detector. Are you enjoying trying these new technologies?
Yes. It was hard to try that one on the field we were actually on because the field was quite exciting. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean by that. There was that many fines, that many coins. So getting my phone out in between everyone. When I do my YouTube videos in general, I like showing my fines. Not necessarily trying to hold the phone in one hand and film me finding it at the same time. That was the hard part. So it did waste a little bit of time, but I still enjoyed it. I love the feedback on the videos. That's my favourite out of it.
Are you looking at buying a new machine soon, or?
Possibly. Honestly, I am going to wait till after Christmas for the fact that these new machines coming out, other people are going to bring new machines out. If someone else is bringing one out, it's only competition. So let's wait and see first.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out in the next few months. But if you're currently using the Vanquish 540, which I had, which I loved, absolutely loved, cracking machine. What next machine would you have if you could like wave your finger in the air?
CTX or Nox 800.
What if you couldn't have one of those?
I'd go for a DS.
What if you couldn't have one of those? This is where it gets hard. That's why I said
The routers.
What, the Atrex or?
Yes, watching TC at Detectiveville, it inspired me with it.
Yeah.
You're really into your buttons, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he is into buttons. Buttons and balls by looking at the back of your door. Did you find those metal detecting or the other side? Yeah, buttons and balls. No, I think you're looking at January, February, are you getting a new machine?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. It's obviously with a 5-year-old and 3-year-old, Christmas can be pretty expensive as well, so I don't want to go blowing the cash all of a sudden on a new detector when they can have more fun.
Yep, I don't miss those days when my daughter had the Barbie carriage that took about an hour to unpack and about 4 hours to build. She played with it for 5 minutes and then it was all gone. So yeah, Christmas hopefully this year will be a better one, I think. Don't you, Dave?
Presents are changing.
And don't forget, if you are after buying any products or presents or anything like that,
that's Lego.
No, it's not.
Has it got
if you are buying,
that's electric Lego.
Never heard of it.
Electric Lego.
Yeah,
Lego? Is that Lego?
Yeah, Lego with a screen in it.
Flipping heck, times changed since I was. Sorry, Dave.
I just wanted to say, there's a hell of a lot of people that expect a lot of things in the metal detecting community. A lot of people holding their hands up and say, free stuff. Can I have this? Can I have that? Can I have a subscription to Treasure Hunting magazine? Blah, 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 blah. And I admit a lot of it is all in aid of charity, but there's a lot of people have expectations. For all them people who do get stuff sent to them to test, like ourselves, people who do get things sent to them for giveaways and such like, give a little bit back. It's that time of the year. Go and buy something with one of these manufacturers, one of these sales company, LP, Regdon's, Joan Allen. Go back and buy something, even if it's a book from Greenlight Publishing. Go and buy yourself something to support them, because we've all had a bad time, and they've also had a bad time because we've not been able to go in the fields and buy the stuff that we want to buy to go in the fields. So give a little bit back.
And I would like to say we've got no money paid tonight by Joan Allen or Quest. They kindly sent a free pinpointer to Dave
and I can't thank them enough for that.
For Shane to try out. Greenlight Publishing kindly sent us free books to review.
Not me. I brought mine.
Sorry?
I brought mine.
You bought yours, yeah. So
mine hasn't come yet.
Yeah. So I'd love to think that I got loads of free stuff put through the post every day, and I do get the odd bits, and sometimes it's absolute soot, and it won't ever appear on YouTube or anything. But you're right, Dave. Those who do need a thank you, it's a big hats off to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, and thank you again to Joan Allen for sending that pinpointer.
Absolutely.
They didn't need. You didn't contact them, did you? They just watched the show and thought, "Oh, Dave, he looks like he could do with orange 12-inch vibrating."
He looks like he could give something to Shane to use.
Same as Justice.
And Shane, I've got to thank you as well for testing the detector, texting the pinpointer. Obviously, because you're making your YouTube videos, and I'm interrupting them by giving your other products to trial, so it's taking off your normal relaxing detectoring time with your Vanquish and your normal pinpointers and such like. So I can't thank you enough for inviting me out, yourself and Steve and Ben and Ron. Let me join you detecting as well.
Would I be allowed?
Don't cry, Shane. It's
I
you
thought
know, don't
Adrian was
worry.
going to say something.
I was going to say, Shane, would I be allowed on your permission with Dave or not?
Of course.
I think we should do a little show, me, you, and Dave. I'll come up, Dave. It'll take me about 3 days to get up there, but and I'll bring beer from down south with me, so I don't have to buy any.
So what we can add our beer to it to make it proper.
Yeah, maybe a Christmas special or something. I could come up and
Got some exciting ones coming up soon as well.
yeah.
And
Talking of
there's a
excitement,
spare bed here, Adrian.
yeah, thank you, Dave. Yes. I'm all right, but bunk beds, I just struggle in the evening. Bit of excitement. Tony K would say he might be able to give away a Atrex on his YouTube channel soon. So if anyone's watching, subscribe to Tony's channel.
Absolutely.
TC
TC
Detect.
Detect.
The Atrex, it doesn't look revolutionary, but the technology in it, if you go on the Reuters website, download the spec sheet and read the instruction book, there's some really interesting bits in there. So a colour screen as well, which is quite with the holograph display.
Just look at the Tactiville, mate. All those with the look at the Tactiville. Well, myself, Vanquish 540, the lower end spectrum of the detector, struggling my back end off in the field because of the mineralized oil, and yet TC, along with his routers, finding everything.
It's all about being able to tweak it. So, sorry, Shane, just quickly going back, I forgot. I asked the question about Coke, as in on the ground. You said the pinpointer, it came up green on the pinpointer, Coke.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Is that when it was really close to it, as well as at a distance?
It didn't really pick the Coke up until it was close anyway. It was the only thing that I found annoying with that is because the field was so high in Coke. So in one plug itself, there was probably 4 pieces of Coke. So as I'm waving my detector in the hole to try and find the location, I'm getting the odd random ping in there.
Okay, that's it.
It's a bit more like it was falsing, but it wasn't falsing. It was because of the amount of Coke in the hole.
Bottle tops. Did you dig any bottle tops?
No, a lot of lead moo tubes, which is a bit different.
And they came up green on the pinpointer.
Yeah. That field literally had hardly any rubbish on it. The rubbish it did have was normally your usual tractor bolt. Dave's tickled.
I'm laughing at Eagle Eye DJ. Said, I think all the detectors sound wonderful, but can we see the Lego bit again? Nice one, James.
Got a Luigi as well, dude.
Can't believe
make them talk to each other.
They don't talk. They connect to the iPad by Bluetooth, and then when you go round and do the Mario course, it sends the gold coins to the iPad that you've got from defeating Bowser.
Shut up! Really?
What Mario course?
Yeah, the sensor on the bottom reads a barcode.
Should do this.
Is that for you, Shane, or your daughter?
No, my little boy. He's into his Mario and Sonic.
Oh.
I'll make him come round play with it.
We got a disembodied voice going on there, Jane.
I think she said, "Is that your housing manager?"
Is she dressed tonight?
Yeah. No, she's probably in a dressing gown like most days.
Lazy mare. Get dressed, woman.
No.
Tidy up the Lego.
Pick up them balls.
I did that today.
What, tidy
Not
up
pick
the
up
Lego?
the balls, the Lego.
What, your balls dropped?
Oh, Shane, lovely having you on, mate.
It is,
tonight.
Shane. And I will no doubt speak to you tomorrow. Don't forget, everybody, next week's show, we are postponing to Friday night. And the reason we're postponing till Friday night is because next Friday is a live Rootus reveal of a new product. So we're going to be looking at the new product, Adrian.
Sorry, not Rootus.
Sorry. Let me start that again. I do apologise to all concerned. That's because we've been talking that. Next week is a new product launch from Nocta Macro. So we're postponing the show till Friday night, and we're going to be discussing the new product. And we're hopefully going to be having one or two of the Nocta Macro nomads coming on the show, because I'm sure they'll probably know a little bit more than us about the new product, Adrian.
They might do, yeah, hopefully. It's going to be interesting, very much so. There's a little tiny, small smidgen announced at Detectable, but how it's going to work, how much it costs, and extra coils, whether they'll be backward compatible, which I very much doubt.
I saw one of the nomads actually call the new machine the Beast yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually taken by the Bliss Tool V6, but hey.
I think Nocta Macro have absolutely smashed the market with detectors the last few years, and with a multi-frequency machine, it's going to cost-wise be very competitive, and I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to rock the market a little bit, because you've got your multi-frequency Vanquish 540 Shane, which is what, for the £500 with the Pro kit. So it's got to come in around £500-600, which for a multi-frequency or similar technology machine is. I wouldn't be surprised if they come in at £400.
I've got a feeling they're coming less than the Vanquishes.
So, but will it be? I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It will.
All exciting next Friday.
Right. So that's next Friday night from 8 o'clock, live here as always. And we will have our weekly Just Detect draws, and we'll have our Nocta Macro Nomads coming on. Not sure exactly who yet. But anyway, there you go. Shane, I will speak to you tomorrow, no doubt. Thanks for coming on. And thank you again for doing the reviews for us. Absolutely perfect. Please pop on over to YouTube and look for his channel, Stafford's the Searcher. Exceptionally good videos, very informative, very much looking into history and discussing things. As I say, pop on there and give him a subscribe. I'd appreciate that. He'd appreciate that. And I think Adrian might even appreciate that.
Well, I've watched you.
What day is it?
I just hit 300 subs. When I get to 500, I'll do the giveaway.
Marvellous. Talking of giveaways, we'll have one coming soon as well for the Big Detecting Show YouTube channel. So there you go. Right. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and we will see you next Friday. Take care. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks, Luke. And thanks, everyone else.
It's still there, yeah. I've just done a review on the Joan Allen channel about this pointer. It's a pointer which has got discrimination. It has audio and visual discrimination. The visual comes up in this little bar here. It's ridiculously loud. And then this little bar goes up and down like that. It's amazing. But wait. That's the good bar. That's the good signal. This is the bad signal. Ferrous, iron, bad stuff. Completely different. I explain it over there. Go check that video out. It's in the description below. This thing is amazing. I unbox it and I give it a good test over there. Just kind of checking in because I thought you might be interested. I wasn't going to put this up on this channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
Greetings, bleepers, how the devil are you?